Wednesday night, we're all in sight. 9 o'clock, it's shining bright. Turn the dial and feel the might. Just enough Heshy takes flight. Woo! Laughs and wisdom side by side. Heshy show won't be denied. Tune in live and ride the tide. Feel the rush and feel the pride. It's just enough Heshy. Wanna vote for Heshy? It's just enough Heshy. Join the crowd, it's messy.
To this week's edition of the Just Enough Heshy Show, live from Florida.
Why do you keep stealing it from me?
Because you got caught napping. You got picked up. Baseball term. You got picked off. I was waiting for it, and the producer even said 3, 2, 1, Florida.
You know, the producer,
and you were caught napping. You got picked off. You play baseball. You got picked off.
I do. You know, the producer went to Florida, and he tells me he can go to Florida. And I caught him. My friend saw him in Florida. My other friend saw him in Florida. His maid knew he was in Florida. My nephew told me he was in Florida.
Yes.
The airport guy told him everybody's from Florida. And he tells me he wasn't in Florida.
Well, to be fair, for a change to take his side, I think like almost the entire city right now would like to be in Florida.
I know.
Considering the
Except
weather
for
we're
me.
in.
You know, Sunday.
Because you were already in Florida last month.
Sunday I was out already in the snowstorm.
Oh yeah, so was I.
I was at work. Nobody showed up for work Monday, Tuesday. They were slogged in. I mean, I remember I called you. I said, "How was you doing?" You and me were out working.
I was out at 4 o'clock in the morning.
They shut it, and you know the banks were closed on Monday.
I did see that. I saw that.
I had a bank and the post office, no mail.
I didn't get mail Monday. No, you're right. I did not get mail Monday.
It's like you're a bunch of babies, man.
No, I saw them today. I saw the mail today because I was out at 86th Street.
I saw them yesterday too. But it's like, wow, you shut down a city for, and then he says, school should be on what's it called?
Remote learning.
Remote learning.
They did remote learning.
I don't understand that.
Could you have imagined? Do you remember when we had the blizzard back in '96 and the blizzard in 2010? Yeah. Could you have imagined if we had that a couple days ago? Half the city would never have come back to work.
In 1977, I remember when we had the big snowstorm, and a lot of us still showed up in school, and the rabbi said to us, "Why'd you come?" And like, we didn't know there's such a thing as a day off. It was like great.
And Black Beauty wants to say she has not received mail yet. And also, Avi wants to say Heshy is not in Florida, not in Brooklyn, because he's not answering my emails.
I did answer his emails and texts, but I get a little bit behind. And Avi doesn't understand that I love him, and I'm taking care. He's one of my clients. Right?
Yes, we know.
Nice man.
Yes. How you doing, Avi? Thank you for being here.
But the problem with Avi is he thinks I do drugs, so I forget about him. But I love him. Anyways, I don't do drugs.
Because we're in Florida.
My son is in Florida.
He somehow is doing dual.
You know, I called.
It's AI. You have an AI son right now.
I called my partner who saw him in Florida. I forgot about that. My partner's from Florida. I put him on the phone. My partner, and he screams.
You know, you've been so flabbergasted over Florida that you forgot to mention yesterday was Linda's birthday.
I want you to yes, happy birthday to my beautiful daughter, my beautiful wife Linda. I bought her 5 lotto tickets. I hope she wins.
Okay.
Powerball, cash, mega, lotto.
Will you be taking the producer to Florida when you win one of those?
I'm not even taking him to Israel with me when I go with me. And today is my granddaughter's 7th birthday.
Happy birthday.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Yeah.
Favorite part of the show.
And tomorrow is my birthday.
Yes, we're going to give you a big happy birthday. I think the producer from Florida is going to wish you happy birthday.
Yeah, big deal. They don't buy me anything. They don't. You know, Linda bought me a birthday card.
Can we buy you a slice of pizza and I'm afterwards?
I'd be happy with that.
I will take you to. What do you do tomorrow?
I want you to know, Linda bought me a happy birthday card.
Very nice.
Every year she buys me birthday cards and anniversary cards, and I said to her, Linda, every year you buy it, and I think it's just like a waste of money. Why do you write the same letter? I love you, I love you. She says, well, I don't write the same letter. And I take out a bag Okay, of the last 36.
Keeping record, huh?
I have 36 years of happy anniversary, happy birthday. I love you, like the dumbest.
Well, at least you're getting them, but you know we are now.
All the cards get better cards. I mean, I said, Linda says, "Wow, you saved them." I said, "Want me to throw it away? It costed us money."
Everyone is wishing you in the chat happy birthday, but we now also want to say hello to the Talkline Radio Network, starting off with our flagship WSNR 620 AM, also where the producer is right now in Florida, WJPR 1640 AM. That's the AI version. And also hello to WNEW, the legendary rock and roll radio station, once upon a time. 1027 FM. If you want to give us a call, if you're in Florida, even want to give us a call, 646-974-1580, and it's Tom and also
the people
Heshy,
don't
the
understand the
show.
inside joke that the producer, who's my son, keeps going on vacation.
Now,
and I don't have a problem with that,
know.
but the problem that I have is that he uses my credit card and he uses my miles.
Did he use it from Florida?
Yes, and now not only that he uses it, he keeps telling me that, oh no, it wasn't my miles, it wasn't my credit card. Look, he's coming out to defend himself.
He's saying that from Florida he'll be using the card.
Well,
and also Daniel
not
Sweet
anymore.
wanted to say your producer is expecting you to take him out for your birthday.
I know. I have to take them out for the birthday. I know. Anyways, I want to wish Linda a happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
And I want to wish my granddaughter Mira Nava, and my
Happy
shout
birthday.
outs go to Mira Nava,
Yes.
my granddaughter, and my granddaughter Leila Tamar, Binyamin Hill, my grandson, Yeshua, my other grandson, Ahuva, Yael, Miriam, and Sergeant Peter and Ellie. And I want you all to know that, I have 6 grandchildren.
Yes.
Number 7 is on its way.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
It's going to be very cool.
And how was the breakfast last Thursday? Breakfast. For 150, you're 150, you're celebrating the bris.
Yeah, it wasn't a breakfast. It was a bris.
Yeah, bris. You had a breakfast with
beautiful
on 60th Street and 21st
it was
Avenue.
A beautiful bris. And let me tell you what happened, guys. You're going to love this. So after the bris, I had to go to work, and my contractor friend, somebody took me upstate so I can go defend him on his driving ticket. Now, we were driving on the highway, and there was a cop giving somebody else a ticket. And we were going at 60 miles an hour, and the speed limit 65.
Okay.
We're in the right lane. We see the cop. So we're slowing down so he can get out if he wants to get out. And there was a truck in the other lane, the middle lane, flying at like 75 miles an hour. The cop didn't pull out, and then he pulls us over 5 minutes later. I said, "Why'd you pull us over?" He says, "Oh, because you didn't move over for us to move out." I said, "You had no emergency. Plus, on a major highway, I wasn't going to put my life at risk."
I don't blame you.
That truck wasn't doing that fast. I said, "Are you crazy? I should cut in front of a truck even if he's 3 cars lengths back." So we finally drive up. It took us 6 months to get a court date. We drive up to the courthouse, and we're sitting there. And 2 hours later, after we get to, because we went to visit my house, which is a money pit. Oh my God!
That was a great movie, by the way.
I
Tom
know
Hanks
that.
used it.
Actually, whatever he went through, I'm going through worse. Today we were supposed to be finished
should have been
the
in
walls.
Florida instead.
Today we were supposed to be finished with the walls. The guy tells me, "Oh, your plumbing needs to be redone." I said, "You closed the goddamn walls." Anyways,
Boy, we are
so
in
we
rare
get
form
in
tonight.
front of the judge, and I tell the judge, I say to the judge, everybody's making deals.
Right.
And I said to the judge, "There's no deal. I'm a witness. There's no deal. There's no deal. I have affidavits. I have a video of the thing. You can't talk. We're speaking to him." So I made it up with him. When they do that trick, I made it up with the guy I'm with. Then when they make the deal, just revert to me since it's administrative law, and I'll, he's a real man. He has women. He's a tough guy. He lifts 700 pounds of cement over his head. He's a real man. All of a sudden, the judge says, "Sir, do you accept the deal that you left your car running on us? Left your car running."
I'm listening. Right.
And I look at him, I said, "No, we don't accept." She looks at him, yeah. I said, "You're a little girl, right in the courtroom." I said, "Are you crazy? You're a girl." Judge says, "You can't talk to him like that." I said, "He's a girl. Any girl that jumps like a little girl is a girl. He's not a man." He tells me he's a man. And the judge is looking at me, and he's laughing. He says, "You can't talk to me like that in court." I said, "Sure I can. You're an idiot. You dragged me up here for 3 hours to defend you. 3 hours back, and you admit to a deal in less than 7 seconds." Anyways, so we go home, and we stop off at so he has to pay his ticket. It comes out to be, instead of yielding, that could have got him a $40 deal, he ends up paying $140 something.
Okay, I'm listening.
He only and they don't take credit cards. So he only had $115 on him. He says, "Give me money." I said, "I will not give you my money. Go to jail. I don't care." He begs me, and he knows I have money in my pocket, and I actually had $28 in my pocket.
You gave
and
it
I was
to him,
looking
didn't you?
at the machine. I was so hungry. I was looking at the snack machine. It was $1, and he takes the 28. I said, "I need $1." And the lady behind the counter is looking at me. I said, "Can I just have $1?" She says, "No, you have to pay in full." I said, "I need $1. I haven't eaten in 6 hours." He took my last dollar, and then he was a 25 cents short. I had to go to my car and give him the last quarter I had.
Why did you give
I
him
don't
that
know.
money?
I'm an idiot.
You should have been in Florida instead.
I should have.
Boy, Heshy, did you eat eventually?
Yeah, we stopped off and he used my credit card.
Well, I mean, you could do it in Florida.
This is like, I tell you, people around me are just nuts in their brain.
Well, I mean, it's just enough Heshy.
Can I tell you my quote?
After this 10-minute start so far, I hope it's good.
It's a lucky man that knows what he wants to do with his life. When you owe your life to someone, you better live it. I focus on one thing, and I focus on what's real. I tell you these quotes is because I know what my life is about. I know I'm a lucky man, and I know what my life is about. People say to me, again today, my brother called me, "We know you're going to run." My cousin called me from Florida to wish me happy birthday. "I know you're going to run again." And I said to him, I'm a lucky man. I know what my life is about. I know what my vision is about, even if I lose 900 times. I know what it is, and I don't think what I'm doing is wrong. What I know is that I've been so lucky at this point that I have the opportunity to serve my nation. I have the opportunity to use my freedom to vote and run. That's the greatest thing. And I do owe my life to other people. My father died, his family died to get to this country. He died raising me. He was a young man when he died. He was like 60 and I was 13. So I owe my life not only to him, I owe him to a very special teacher. When I was in 8th grade.
You spoke about that in previous
Mr.
episodes.
Kagan. I owe it to one of my rabbis who, when I went to high school, I was a tough guy, gang member.
I would never have guessed.
And I got there and he put me in a building with older guys and I said, "I'm freaking out. I'm never staying.
Yeah.
And I stayed. And then he puts me in a room and he just let me run the place. I was one of the guys with my own room. He asked me to get money donations. He allowed, one time I went over to him, "We need a baseball field."
Yeah, I remember you talking about that.
So he walks me out to a dirty, broken field. He says, "Here it is." I said, "This is not a baseball field." He says, "Oh, you have an imagination." And even the basketball court, he says, "Here, I'm giving you the tool. You now have to build it." And it was a teaching lesson of how to solve problems, and I've learned from that, So even when I escaped from school and I ran away to Atlantic City for a few minutes, and I came back, he knew about it. And he sat me down. He says, "You could have gone." He says, "I'm not getting you in trouble." He says, "You made the right decision." And you have to be a teacher, you have to be an advisor, and you have to understand how focused you have to be, and you have to be lucky in life. Anyways.
And by the way, Avi wants to say machines take Apple Pay these days.
Oh, yeah?
They take Apple Pay. You could have got yourself food.
No, not over there. Upstate, only cash.
Okay.
That's it.
Because that's what he says.
It's stupid. It was a town of Wallkill, which is Middletown.
Okay, I know Middletown.
I was very upset about it, because I had like 12 credit cards to give him.
Yeah, okay, all right.
Here's my joke.
All right, here we go.
My 6-year-old. Look, so I was I took a young lady, Miriam. She buys a lot of buildings, and she hires me to take her to do inspections on buildings.
All right.
And so while we were at one of the building, her husband, who's not very enthusiastic, he doesn't support her on these buildings because he says she buys bad rental buildings. My job is not to evaluate the rental and the property, but to evaluate the structure, the building, and how much repairs to do. So we went there. So recently I was doing a walkthrough inspection with her, and her husband, Levi, called while we had an inspection. And I can hear him yelling at her, and he said, "What are you doing? Buying another building?" She says, "No, I'm here with Heshy the expediter. We're having an affair." She says, "Oh, that's okay."
Well, I could have been in Florida.
Anyways, my little 6-year-old, or now 7-year-old granddaughter was sitting with Linda, and he was looking at our wedding photos. And Mila says, "Grandma, why did you marry Big H or Granddad? Why did you marry him? Because he was good looking?" She says, "No." He says, "Did you marry him for his money?" She says, "Definitely not." And then she laughed. So she said, "You felt sorry for him."
I got that one out. That was actually clever. That was a clever one. I think the producer was waiting for you to take him to Florida so he could laugh.
You see, everybody's an inside joke that I know he went to Florida. He lied to me. Nobody can lie to me. I know everything that's going on in this town.
You do.
I know what Mamdani does. I know what Adams does. I know who's sleeping with who. And my son thinks I don't know that he went to Florida. Is he joking? And look, he's still coming out and go back and do your job. Just do your job.
I think
Don't
this
worry
is
about
going to be the entire conversation. I will say over the next 45 minutes, we'll probably mention
No, I
Florida
won't
20
mention it
times.
again already. My credit card has been used already. There's nothing I can do. I can't get a refund. He won't give me back the money.
Well, if you go back to Florida, you can try to get the refund.
No, I'm going to deny the charges anyways.
Okay. Duly noted.
Like I told you, I was out doing so, but I have a question for you.
All right, I want to hear it.
People asked me, and they called me all over the place.
Okay.
How did Mamdani do the first snowstorm? Number one, he wasn't prepared.
Okay.
In my sanitation, we shoveled out of all these blocks, 4 blocks were shoveled. People were calling me, "I don't see a snow blower, I don't see a snow shoveler. Where are they? Call them." I said, "Listen, I spoke to my sanitation guys, and I got the main streets done. 49th Street, 50th Street, where the ambulances go.
Yes.
53rd Street, the main thoroughfare, blah, blah.
56th.
And of course, they did shovel in front of my house. but the point I'm trying to make to you is that they didn't have enough trucks and enough manpower and no salt makers.
I agree with you on that.
And Monday, I was stuck in the ice. They didn't melt it when they have these melting ice machines. You know that?
Yes.
So again, how did Mamdani do? Everybody says, "Oh, it's his first time. It wasn't that bad." First of all, the snowstorm wasn't that bad. You're like little babies. Second of all, I give him a C. The only reason I gave him a C was only because that he took over the last administration and he allowed the trucks to go out because he has a $12 billion budget.
We're going to talk about that, but I actually give him a lower grade. I give him a C minus.
And you're Staten Island. They screwed you completely.
But even just walking here, I noticed on 18th Avenue, the streets on 18th Avenue were terrible.
Yeah.
I noticed.
Still a lot of streets are not plowed.
I was going to say, even in Borough Park, on my way here, I walked from...
Garbage. Not picked up.
I walked from the N train, which is 63rd and 18th, down here to the office. We're on 54th and 16th, and there are still streets that have not been fully shoveled.
And they're all going on TV. "Oh, he did great. He did great. He did
The media
nothing."
is going to give him an A because the media wants to like him.
Now
You know that.
He did his budget. He has a $12 billion hole. So I want to ask you a question.
All right.
He's blaming it all on Adams.
And he blamed it on Cuomo even, who's been out of office for 5 years.
But no problem. I got you. You took over office. They left you in a hole. $12 billion, $3 billion.
$2 billion this year. He's $2.2 billion short for this coming year.
Here's my question to you.
Right.
The man needs to come up with $1.7 billion. He needs to raise $12 billion it's $12 billion for his budget.
Well, it's overall, but for the calendar, the fiscal year, it's 2.2.
Oh, really?
It's 2.2, but it's $12 billion for the next 5 years.
Okay, so my point is, he says he's going to tax the rich.
Which
means is if all 8 million people in this city pay, which they don't, each person has to come up between $1,500 to $3,000.
Now his claim.
Wait. You know that there's 1 million people living in housing. New York City housing. So we have no way for them to come up with money.
Right.
You have another 1 million people that live in rent control or tenant subsidized that they're getting money from the city.
And
they're not giving any money. You have another 500,000 illegal immigrants on the 8 million. They're not giving us any money.
Right.
Okay?
We're paying them.
You have 2 million people below the poverty line that barely, if they pay taxes, they don't pay at all.
Right.
So we're looking now at 4.5 million out of the 8 million people. You have 3.5 million people that can pay. 2 million of them, a little bit more, are middle class like me and you. Basically, we can find deductions that we don't have to pay it. So he has to find 1 million people that are above the $1 million mark.
Threshold.
Let's just say he does, that will pay this money. Now, not anymore is it $1,500. It's each one that has to pay $10,000. Okay, here's the deal. Half of them don't really actually live in the city, and the other half have tax credits or know how to use their accountants never to pay those taxes.
Right.
So where's he taxing the rich? Where's he getting this money? Yeah, and he has to cut funds. So you're telling me he's going to create? You're on radio. You can't be on the TV.
Well, I gotta bring up what you said.
$1.7 billion. Anyways, he has to show.
But
up
I
with.
think it's fascinating to me when the reporter had asked him the question yesterday when it came to his idea. And they said, well, kind of like when you were taking the point of, well, these people who are millionaires are either going to leave the city or they're going to find ways to maneuver that hike. He says, in his mind, no, they'll stay here. And his point was the city has added millionaires since 2021.
Correct, but they're not going to pay. They don't actually use their
point.
address here. Look at Simcha Felder. He's a millionaire now, and he theoretically lives in Jersey.
Yeah, we tried to prove that last year.
And all you have to do is a supplementary income. You know, people are telling me, you know, Heshy, when you get older, and you know, I'm allowed to already at 62 tomorrow, I can officially get my Social Security.
Right. Yep.
But if I wait till 67, I'll get the maximum amount. But if I earn a salary, they deduct it.
Yep.
So they're telling me that any money I earn should be put into a corporation that pays me dividends. It's a gain. So the dividends I don't have to pay, even though I pay taxes on it. It's not considered earning, and I can collect my full Social Security. You think these rich people are not going to do? A stupid little man like me can do that little trick? These guys have multi-billion, million-dollar corporations. They're not going to do it?
For sure.
But Mamdani, who's 34 years old, has no budgeting experience, says, I'm going to bill everybody $1,500.
And I have to cut you up because you have been once again given a super chat for $50 from
Where's the money
Avi.
last time?
Well, we can look in the account afterwards, but he gave you a $50 super chat.
I better pick up Avi's call.
You
right?
better pick his call up. And on top of that, he wants to know, I want you to know that you can get your building back taken by 7A.
Yeah. First of all, I'm a 7A receiver.
Yes, we know that.
And yeah, I'm sorry to tell you now with the new rules, it's going to get even harder. You know that.
Yes.
Yes, if you do any, I have a lady just now, 5 kids. It took me 2 years to get her into a house for all the illegal stuff that was done in the house, and she bought it that way. We fixed it up. I got her in. I moved her into the house, and I didn't sign off the job because she was still doing some work, and I didn't have to, and I got her in the job. She disappeared for like 6-8 months. She decided to rent out her cellar basement, whether it was legal or not. Mm-hmm. Of course, the company, they called the city on them because he doesn't want to pay rent. So the city comes out and says, oh, it's an illegal apartment, you don't have to pay rent. Now she has to evict him, which is 2 years out. Come on, they took you in off the street. They let you live in the house. She just made a long lease. All she had to do was make a duplex roommate lease. Instead, she made the wrong lease. So now they don't have to pay. He's causing damage to the house, so he called HPD. She got violations. Now the city can come down and give her a vacate order and vacate her. And she has to pay for him to go somewhere. This is what our city has come to. And you're right, Heshy only know these laws. I know many more laws.
But I want to go back to
I know
Mamdani.
criminal laws. I know eviction laws. I know when my son goes to Florida and he tries to trick me laws.
Well, we have an AI version of your son here with us. But I want to go back to Mamdani because this guy wants to balance a budget shortfall that essentially he can stop on his own. Now, his one idea was, well, I found that Adams had spent, was it
$600,000
on the chat box AI thing.
Doesn't make a difference. You have a budget that you should start cutting stuff. There are so many different fake programs that I myself noticed when I went through the budget.
You've talked about this for years.
I'm telling you, I promise you, if he looks at the budget over properly, this year's budget,
he's not going to do that, though.
He can cut $4 billion off the top.
But he told you months ago what his plan was to raise taxes on the wealthy.
But why?
Because he's got no other plan.
I understand.
He's got no other plan.
He's wasting money on the wrong things. He's throwing money to the wrong people. Like Minnesota threw away billions and billions of dollars on wasteful people.
It's like he doesn't want to get rid of the homeless encampments. Now he's talking about getting rid of a police program in relation to ICE. He wants to abolish ICE.
We had how many people died during the snowstorm? Mr. A that they want to give me. 30 people died during this snowstorm.
I know.
30 people.
And probably counting.
I'm so sorry. So the man is not. I thought you were going to take care of the homeless. You knew the snow was coming. I thought right away you were going to get to work on the homeless people the first day, Mr. Mamdani.
But that goes back even when you talked about the snow response to the city, and the press is going, yeah, he did great. He did great. He didn't do great. I can tell you, I've seen streets that weren't shoveled. I've seen even sanitation guys sitting on the road, not even salting. Right. And on top of that, you know, the people, where are they going to put this? So and the plow guys keep pushing it back onto people's sidewalks, and there comes to a point.
Well, it blocks your cars. You can't even get your car out.
Exactly.
If they used that snow melting machine, it would have been gone in a minute. You know, we have a snow
dragon.
Machine. Yeah.
The snow dragons.
Do the
supposed to get rid of, like, what was it, one piece of snow and 600 miles an hour or something like that?
I don't understand it.
But he did a great job. Yeah. And then the whole idea, I'm with you about they couldn't figure out to put these kids on remote. But here's the other kicker about this whole remote learning they did on Monday. There are 500,000 kids that go to the New York City public schools throughout the 5 boroughs. Only 400,000 of them went. And on top of that, with all the money that the DOE's been given, all the money that's been given to schools, but here's the kicker. These kids couldn't even log on. They had internet problems, Wi-Fi connections, app problems, all these different. You think with all the money that we put into schools, with all the technology we have, that they couldn't even get this remote learning right?
They're so busy they can't control their own schools, but they're busy coming after the Jewish schools.
Absolutely.
This is like, you know, and when you people elect these officials and you come to me and complain, I promise you people are coming to complain to me about, you know, I complained last week about many women cheating on their husbands or having these affairs.
Understandable.
And I was very disappointed.
I can understand that.
So I got a lot of calls this week.
Okay.
Heshy, you don't understand. We're married 25 years. We're married 27 years. We need special love. We can't do this. My husband allows it. My wife allows it. I said, I don't understand you. I am a religious man.
Yes.
You want to go cheat on your wife and husband and he lets you? don't be married. Okay, right. I know you want to be married. Marriage is a very important thing, and there are certain parts of marriage that need to be, I don't want to say it in a bad way, need to be satisfied.
I understand.
So sometimes the man can't do it or the woman's not interested, and you have your partner and you love your partner, so you ship your partner out to do the bad thing. Now, I understand this.
Give us a call. I'll talk about your bad things here. 646-974-1580.
I understand this. Okay, don't get me wrong. Everybody has evil inclinations. The problem is that life is tough, man.
Life throws us curveballs. What did Rocky Balboa say? Life is not always sunshine and rainbows.
Right.
That ground will hit you and knock you down.
My son and me had a fight, the other son.
Not the one in Florida?
Not the one that went to fake Florida. He makes me... But my other son, my youngest son, he's having a baby in a few months.
Yes.
And we sat down. He graduated college this month.
Okay.
Magnum Cum Laude. What's it called? Magnum Cum Laude. Magnum Sue something. Magnum Sue or Magnum
Magnum PI?
No. So he graduated. It means that he has a 3.9 or to a 4.0 grade point average. Magna cum laude.
Okay.
Very proud of him.
Yes, you should be.
And I paid for schooling for the last 7 years. I paid for him to go to the rabbinical school. I paid for his wedding, his apartment, his food, and everything.
Okay, very good.
You know what he tells me?
What?
I've decided I know what to do with my life. I understand. You're coming into one now. Show what is this?
Basically, we have here that, and I do also want to say hello to Jonathan Martinez is here. Wanted to say, what's up, Heshy? Hope you and your family have been well. Let us know what the next move is. Also, Avi says that he wanted his building back from 7 to 8, taken 3 years ago.
I know. Yeah. I'm so proud of him. But the point is what they made him go through after.
And William Gonzalez also says hello.
Okay, hi, William. But I want you to know something, that the people that don't understand is that honor is above everything. You know, my son tells me, he says, Pop, I figured out what I want to do with my life. I'm so happy.
Go to Florida?
Because I don't have to pay anything anymore, you know? I'm broke. And he says to me, I want to sit and learn the rest of my life. I said, how are you going to pay the bills? Don't worry, people give me money. I said, who's giving you money? Medicaid, Medicare? I purposely pay your health insurances to keep you off of Medicare, Medicaid for the people that actually need it. I said, where are you going to get money to live? My wife will work. I said, your wife barely makes $30,000 a year. She doesn't want to finish college either. He says, well, God will help us, and I'll do tutoring. I said, really? I said, really? I said, you know what? You're right. Let's go over the budget. I just went over his rent, $25,000. Then I went over his car payments, his health insurance. And I went over I said, before your food, and then forget about all the Amazon he buys, and he goes out to fancy meals in Florida like my other son.
Sounds like a brother of mine. Go ahead.
I was already holding $90,000, and then I said, what about clothing? He says, well, I could buy cheaper clothing. I said, I just bought you 2 suits. I took you to a suit store where I go, taking it off the rack. He says, no, I want to go to Emporio. I said, oh, you want to go to a better store? So how are you going to do it to that better store? And I said, forget about that. Now you have a baby that he didn't tell me that his babysitting service. You're going to have a second baby. You think those babies... I said, just to break even. He says, I don't mind living a poor life. I said, at $90,000 and $100,000, you are living a poor life.
Wow. Boy, Heshy, maybe you should go to Florida.
No, but you people don't understand. Responsibility is very serious.
It is, absolutely.
You have to get up in the morning. I also want to
you and I get up early in the morning.
I want an easy life. I want to sit and watch television every morning.
I don't wear boots right now.
Right? I want to wear boots. I want to sit at home, watch television. I want to play with the grandchildren.
Yes.
I want to drink pina coladas. I want to go down to Florida.
Hey, there you go.
And I want to play backgammon every day.
I'm with you.
That's just my morning. Then I would like to nap a couple times.
Yeah.
And then I don't even want to drive a car. I want to go over to the ocean and get onto my boat, because I'm saving all that money since I'm not paying for the kids. And I want to go sailing. I want to be called Captain Big H.
Rather than right now Al Bundy. It seems
I'm not Al Bundy. That's
Al
for
Bundy.
Sure.
Well,
but again, easy life. I forgot what it was. It wasn't. I want a plain life. He says. I don't know. I said, you think your wife is going to like it when she can't buy more underwear? It's not clothing. You know what underwear is? I remember as a kid, we used to use the underwear till we had holes in it. I know you're laughing about it, but when you have no money, you have to cut some expenses.
Well, Heshy, I'm glad that...
And Mr. Mamdani, the city is broke. Stop buying underwear. That's what I mean. You got to
Well, did you hear, speaking of Mr. Mamdani, did you hear that there was a student that somehow contacted Mr. Mamdani's wife asking for a snow day?
Oh, wow.
Maybe Mr. Mamdani should have just gave his kids the snow day.
Have, again, I went shopping this week for me, Linda, one person, and I'm telling you, I spent over $300.
I believe it. I do believe it.
And my son, who went to Florida on vacation, went shopping on my credit card for $512. And this is where he goes on vacation. Now, you tell me how Mr. Mamdani only spends $175.
Oh, he's spending a lot more than that, Mr. Mamdani. But Mr. Mamdani, do you think he gets his way from Miss Hochul? Because Miss Hochul's got a Democratic primary, and I'm sure...
Miss Hochul's going to lose. I know I've been wrong the last election with Steve, but he's going to lose.
Well, the scary thing is Miss Hochul may have a more of a difficult time getting through the Democratic primary than a general election.
By the way, now the city's going to give tickets, and they've been giving tickets to property owners. They must clear the snow. They had to clear a pathway of at least 4 feet wide to accommodate individuals and mobility devices. The corner people who own the corner property, they have to also clear a path
with the side,
to the crosswalk.
You're right, with the side,
That's not my job. That's your job. I have to clear the sidewalk. But I agree. They should make a pass if they're corner property to the crosswalk.
I hate to say it, and I don't normally agree with the city or Mamdani on anything, but I have seen at least a lot, even walking through here today in Bensonhurst and Borough Park, and where I am on Staten Island, there are a lot of people who just do not want to shovel. Yeah. And they should pay the price, especially with this weather that we have.
The truth of the matter is, it's so cold. The snow is so bad.
Oh my God! Heshy, I gotta say, I can't wait for global warming. I can't wait. Where are all the people now? Global warming! I will pray to Hashem.
We have a clock. What's called a doomsday clock.
85 seconds, Heshy.
So when is this 85 seconds coming into effect?
When you go to Florida next.
Right. So you're telling me that if the world gets to blow up, once you hear the bomb, you only have 85 seconds after the war starts, you're saying?
Well, that's what Trump yesterday basically.
I thought there's a doomsday clock that says they know when we're going to doomsday us. So they're telling us for a fact that the world is going to end by us?
Well, first of all, who would say it's 85 seconds away? What the definite time, the exact reason, the exact way?
Rockets,
I mean, you know everything, Heshy. You obviously know everything out there. You must disagree with that, I am sure.
I want to talk about something serious now.
Okay, what we haven't so far?
I live in a very Jewish religious neighborhood where we have 300,000 people living in a 20-something square block area.
Yeah, I agree with that.
We have organizations called Shoimim and Shmira that watch us safety patrol.
Who you've helped in the past.
Right. We have the 66 precinct that are busy
which is right here by our office where we're recording.
But not only they're right by the office, they're right near a local park.
Yes, the Gravesend Park. Okay.
We also have other organizations, Chaverim, Hatzola, and our people in this neighborhood get up about 4:30 every morning and go to bed around 12 o'clock.
I'm aware.
recently, last week, we had somebody to go to the park that I opened up on 18th Avenue.
On 50, between 58th and 59th. Well, it goes a little
55th
further.
and 55th.
55th to 59th.
Some guy went
yeah.
and drew over 100 SWAT stickers all over the place. No witnesses, no so now they closed the parks during COVID. They closed the parks during holiday weekends, so we can't use it for the Sabbath. You know.
Yeah, I remember that.
Okay.
I remember
but
you were
now
there.
they left the park open, and some guy went and drew Nazi, and nobody saw. So Mamdani said nothing. Did you hear Mamdani say anything about it?
No,
Zero.
nothing.
The head of the city council, which is a Jew now,
Julie Menem from the Upper East Side.
She's a lesbian.
No, that's different. But no, she's not Julie.
She's
Menem.
not a lesbian.
She's not
Thank
at all.
God. So, because every single speaker
No.
is always a lesbian.
No,
A lesbian.
she's a Bloomberg type Democrat.
Good,
No,
thank
Julie
God,
Menem is
fine.
probably the best thing that I don't agree much with anything in the city council, but the best we could have hoped for is a Julie Menem. But go ahead, continue
She
your
comes, and she's the only one that comes for a couple of minutes.
Right.
I mean, what did they do? What did they
Well,
do?
the guy from New Jersey who's supposed to be the council member here put out some statement, but he probably did that from New Jersey, from
And
Lakewood.
here's a guy who was a councilman from Jersey, whatever, the council from New York. he claimed that he was part of the park's openings, which he wasn't.
She wasn't.
My question to you is where are you to protect it? How come I don't see the police there? How come you're not getting
Where
it
was the
cleaned up?
Senator Sutton?
Right.
Where was the previous council member Yeager?
Right.
Where was the current one
None
from
of
New
them,
Jersey?
right. They know how to complain afterwards.
I
But
didn't see
where's
any
our
of it.
protection? Just imagine if some loser is able to do this, how easy it is to walk down the street. And there was a rabbi recently
I heard about
Crown
this.
Heights beaten up.
I heard about this.
I mean, you think anti-Semitism is gone, and Mr. Mamdani gave out some chief anti-Semitism job to what? A non-religious lady rabbi. I mean, what's wrong with this Mamdani? Okay, let's talk something serious.
Wow, what haven't we not?
The guy, what's his name again, that was shot in
Minnesota, Alex Peretti?
Alex Peretti.
Yes, okay.
He was shot by ICE agents. The ICE agents are put on leave. Okay, I understand, and I always said this: police officers, a lot of these judges, a lot of these people in power abuse their privilege. They
100%
become
agree
bullies.
with you on that.
There are always of them bullies. Once they get into power, they get. So you're right. Sometimes the ICE agents overdo it, but when you go to a protest and you bring a gun like Ina Vernikova, you have to go to jail. This guy had a gun, and according to Christy Noem, okay?
I know, Christy.
Listen to what she says. She says, this man came to inflict maximum damage on law enforcement and kill law enforcement. So if you're coming to a protest with a gun, yeah, these guys have to, now you're right. Sometimes the law enforcement officers go overboard. They do too much. But lately, we've been pushing them too hard. And you're right. I feel bad in this case for the law enforcement. This guy had a gun. I understand the protest. And what about that lady who was shot?
We talked about that last week on the show, Renee Good.
Right, Renee Good. She tried to run over an
Her
agent.
partner was actually her, I don't know, even call her wife, I guess, was actually encouraging this and inciting this.
Right. Now, you're right. You're trying to kill them. I understand if they stopped you. And law enforcement, you have to stop, and you can always sue them and keep videos. Today, you have videos. So you can see if they did something wrong, and you can send it out to anywhere you want. And then you can sue them afterwards if they do something wrong and get them fired. But to run them over and kill them? Then again, you have Ilan what's her name?
Was it Ilan Omar?
Oh, Ilan Omar.
Okay.
So she was attacked.
Yes.
But that was a fake attack.
Now, I see, this is
Even
where
President Trump said
But
that.
I have to say, even this whole thing with ICE, right? And I hear all this stuff back and forth in it. But this problem wouldn't be happening if Democrats did their job. If the governor of Minnesota did his job in helping the authorities. If the previous president, Joe Biden, did his job in handling the illegal immigration problem. And further, we know that people like Ilan Omar are the worst of the worst.
Yeah,
And on top of this, George Soros, we know, is now funding these groups.
I have no problem with the illegal immigrants. My problem is that we just have to know them to pay their taxes, put them in the system. And you're right, sometimes the illegal immigrants
But this is
don't
what
commit
Democrats
crime,
are trying to
and
do
they
now.
commit smaller
They're trying to turn it and twist it in a way that Republicans now are fear mongers and killers and the police, and because they know on the issue at hand, at the end of the day,
Well,
right?
we don't know who our neighbor is.
No.
Even when you have a whole block of people,
Right.
and you have somebody move in till you learn who they are, you bring them food, you know their background, you figure out their gossip, even if you don't know them. But to bring 1 million people in that you have no knowledge who they are, and it's too hard to figure out.
And this is the fault of Democrats, but Democrats know that the American people want illegal immigration to be curtailed, and they've turned it an issue where President Trump has to now figure out the messaging to get this on track, because this could be a serious issue,
Yeah.
I think, for Republicans,
Yeah.
especially coming up in these midterm elections. So we got to get this straight.
Yeah.
We got to come up with the messaging. First of all, Benny Kleinberger is here, wants to say, how is Esther? And also Black Beauty wanted to say sorry, not for the nomination for the seat in the assembly, whatever that was. But how's
I do
how's
want
Esther?
to talk about it. So I want to tell you something.
Yes.
Esther got her operation on Monday. We kept her there till Wednesday, and they tried to give her medicines. And I'm doing research left and right. And finally, I get off all the medicines and all the tubes that I transfer over to the rehab center.
Right.
When I get there, the doctors are starting to give her medicine. I said, what are you doing? Well, she needs a blood thinner. I said, why does she need a blood thinner? Everything is good there. The operation's over. She needs it for 28 days. So I do research. I said, this blood thinner could create bleeding. What's called here? Inside bleeding.
Internal bleeding, yeah.
He says it could. I said, do you know what the solution instead of giving this medicine is? Because you gave it to my mother-in-law and she died.
Last year, yeah.
So he says, oh, because you had one bad experience? I said, I had one bad experience. How many other people had this bad experience? So I said, but there's a solution. There's an option that you don't have to take it. He says, yes. And my brother was there arguing with me. He says, Heshy, what's the option? You take double dose of Tylenol. I said, you're willing to give her a dangerous blood thinner instead of giving her a double dose of Tylenol? It doesn't make sense, because when I did the research, the hospital is able to bill out every single bag $1,500, and on the Tylenol, they can only bill, I think, like $4.
But you hit the nail on the head. This could
And
be
they won't do
a
it. And
problem with even further people. What
It
happens
is.
there?
And so they're arguing, and then my brother says, okay, let me speak to the main surgeon. I says, talking to what? She doesn't need it. I told you, when they checked her blood pressure, they said to me that she was 88 over 47.
Yeah.
She's dead. I brought in a doctor who says, no, her blood pressure is perfect. Then I asked him, I said, you're giving her cholesterol medicine. Did you even check her cholesterol? Oh, you told her she needs it. I said, I know, but you did a blood test. Couldn't you tell me I asked you to check the cholesterol, see if it's better. They just want to bill, and they don't care if you die.
Absolutely. Listen, we've talked about this.
But I'm telling you people again, I myself am experiencing now. You have somebody in the hospital. If you don't have somebody there, or you're not on top of the game, or you don't give the thing, and this doctor tried to be smartest, and he went over me. He said, "Oh, you're not in charge. Your brother is." I said, "I'm in charge. She lives with me."
You're her
calls my
guardian.
brother also is the guardian, and she starts telling him and me and my brother. I say, "I don't know what you're arguing about. I did the research. I'm there every day. I watch her. I bring her
But the
clothing."
fraud in the healthcare system is just startling. Yeah. And you were lucky you prevented your situation, but could you imagine what thousands go through?
I do. I see it. And I failed last time with my mother-in-law, and this time I'm not going to fail. I'm not going to let them do this.
Well, I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah.
Well, and if you don't want to fail with us...
And the doctor says, you have any... And after we did all the speaking, we spoke about what kind of medicine is and the research of the medicine. And he says, who made you a medical professional? I said, let me tell you something. I know more about medicine than you.
I was going to say, how about the current one? They doing too good of a job.
I said, all you did was go to school and take a couple of tests. I've been doing this for 30 years. I've been going there, looking to research, seeing people die. I'm taking care of my own family. I don't have to have medical research. When I come to you for advice, your job is to give me advice and to give me the way to get better. But your job is not to tell me that I'm wrong. You can explain it to me and give me the options, but you're just giving her what you want. The answer is no.
If you do want to give us any advice, whether you're in Florida or not, you have one more chance to give us a call at 646-974-1580 to the Just Enough Heshy Show with Tom and Heshy. We're talking a lot about what's going on.
You know the electric bills have gone up by 30%?
I did see that.
10%, but I'm telling you,
I think
it's crazy. They're just cheating us. And now the whole city is getting off of gas, the rule.
I did see that.
So they're putting on some electricity. So now
it's going to make things even worse.
Right, so I'm making... First of all, we don't have a grid to cover it.
Right.
But
Because we're shutting down all these power plants, so how do we compensate for that?
We'll build a grid. We're going to figure out a way. The point is, this is a trick to triple. When natural gas is so cheap and free in a sense, and they charge us a fortune for it. What they're doing now is they're making us go to electric, and they're going to triple our
But you know, this is
they're going to triple our taxes too.
But see, I'm glad you brought this up because this is a reason why yesterday came out in an early census outlook, and New York is standing to lose 2 congressional districts. California is standing to lose 2 congressional districts. Florida and Texas are gaining 4 congressional districts. And I think that people are voting with their feet, and that's why people see the costs going up. People see the crime up. People see they're not getting their services. People are seeing these schools are terrible.
Somebody said, you know, under Mamdani, the crime went down. I said, he's only mayor for 2 weeks. And let me tell you something, the crime is not down.
People are leaving New York.
That shows you right there. Left and right. I keep reading the paper, shooting, killing,
Listen,
murder.
I was in the city last Wednesday before I came on here. And we were talking about the homeless in campus. I get up. There are people now, actually, it's really sad, that they have all their belongings on the street, and they're living there. Yeah. They're actually living in front of storefronts. This is the quality of life. And that's why I thought that census was so interesting, because they can talk about all these things, raising taxes, all this stuff, but it's not working. It's not working.
I'm a regular guy who reads the budget, this $115 billion budget. If I can understand it, I don't know how Mamdani does anyways.
Oh, he's not.
And there's I really don't understand the whole budget, but there's so many things that I see that could be cut. So many things that you can take the money from one section and put it somewhere else to better use. So many places where you can build better housing instead of getting developers involved or paying people, private contractors. You know, some of these private contractors, if you look at their bills, and I've studied them, are getting paid 4 times the average price as a regular person like me would get paid. They're getting paid 4 times. It's just wrong what they're doing.
It's corruption.
And we're losing money, and we're billing the people. And you understand, the city never loses because they don't have to share profit.
But the city is losing because now that we're looking like we're going to lose 2 more congressional districts, that means we're losing influence.
You know why you're losing it? Because the illegal immigrants won't do a census. So we don't count about 500,000 illegal immigrants.
It's that, but it's also people are getting fed up with their taxes going up, their services being cut, their quality of life being destroyed. Daniel Sweet wants to say aspirin, not Tylenol.
Aspirin. That's what they said. Wasn't the time? No, I made them give Tylenol instead of morphine.
That's what his question.
But he's right. They double dose of aspirin. Truth of the matter is, the whole bottle is like $7, but I think they bill $4 every time they give it. But Danny is right. It's Tylenol double dose would be better than that Lotrimin, whatever they want to give her, and it's just simple. There's no reason to give her internal bleeding medicine for something that you can give her aspirin for.
I don't know, Heshy. I really don't know.
You have to be on top of your game.
And if you want to email Heshy, justenoughheshy@gmail.com. And also, Benny Kleinberg says that is Maimonides, right?
That's Maimonides.
The worst.
Maimonides is being taken over by the city.
We talked about this a few weeks ago.
And I want to tell you again.
All right, tell me.
I blame Kalman Yeager. I blame Simcha Felder. I blame David Grenfeld. All of them.
Lester Chang.
Because we had a chance.
Steve Chan.
That the board of Maimonides Hospital said, listen, we're not going to let you take over the hospital, but we'll let you join us. We'll let you join the board and help us try to make this place work. Instead, these greedy Kalman Yeagers and Simcha Felder and David Greenfeld and who was that other one? The lady, the gay lady,
Helene Weinstein.
Yes,
Helene Weinstein.
And who else did we have? They all were so greedy that they wanted to take over these developers.
Yep.
This friend of mine, Shina, multi-millionaire, 100 million.
You hit the nail on the head. Who was funding their campaigns?
Right. And why?
Peter Abadi was another one involved in that.
Why can't you just join the board and take over the board but don't try to take everything over at once? You know, the Kalman Yeager's board of community board approved to close the street between 49 and 50 in front of the hospital.
Yep.
So during COVID, they did that.
Yep.
And Kalman got angry, says, oh no, everybody, because it's his last term, he didn't want to get in trouble.
Right.
So I was screaming about it, and finally Kalman comes and takes away the barriers. But the law, the rule has not been changed. when the city takes over that hospital, they're still going to have the power to close that street. It's just they were scared now of the people in power. So now we're going to lose another street for no reason that we can't forget park there, but we can't even drop off our sick family or pick them up unless we walk down the block.
Black Beauty has got an excellent point, because not long ago, once upon a time, they had said Mamdani's was the last decent hospital in Brooklyn, but now it seems like the worst hospital, not just in Brooklyn, but in maybe the city.
You know, we have the Y in Borough Park that we're giving away.
49th Street and 14th
Right.
Avenue.
Now, the Y used to be one of the greatest places to go for our community.
Absolutely.
And each year we got $1 million from our city councilman from discretionary funds to keep it in repairs. We got money from the city since we were a non-for-profit organization. All of a sudden, that money stopped. They let the building deteriorate so we can sell it on purpose. This is a place in the center. I'm talking, it's in the center of Borough Park.
Absolutely.
Not at the end of Borough Park, on the side of Borough Park, center that was built by the private community. Now we're going to move it to another location. It'll be a new location. Why?
I'll tell you why.
Fix it up.
Why do you think? I know the answer.
Profitability for the private, whatever it is.
Developers, and use it and put up a gazillion people in there.
No, that's the new place. The old place is going to be a synagogue. Who had the money for it? I don't mind. Developers. Oh, you're kidding me?
That's my point.
It's a $40-50 million project.
The answer is developers.
My problem is you guys don't care about us. But then you tell us, oh, we gotta share our money with the poor. We gotta give away our riches. We gotta pay more taxes. I understand you're taking away all their privileges, and then you want us to give it back to them?
That's why, just the way things are, it's just, that's why, as I said, going back to my point, people are just, they're leaving with their feet, and that's what it comes down to. What happened with de Blasio's son, by the way?
Right, so here's, you know I hate de Blasio. The man was not the...
No, I thought you and him were best friends.
The man was the dumbest mayor in ever. I mean, not talking the worst mayor. Dumb, plain dumb. You ever see him on TV talking? He talks dumb.
But he has a young girlfriend now, all of a sudden.
Yeah, right. I don't know how he got a white girlfriend.
Yes.
He switched sides again?
He switched sides.
Okay.
Has to be something.
Half his age. And the point, not even half, a third, whatever. I don't know why she would go with him. I mean, the man is dumb.
Maybe the pension? I don't know.
He can't get a regular job. Anyways, his son, who's just as dumb as him, goes to protest against ICE. And they protest in a place where there is no ICE. They get arrested for protesting for no reason. This is de Blasio, and his entire family is a bunch of...
So the apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
And isn't his daughter a druggie too? His daughter's a druggie too.
I want to confirm that before I confirm that on the radio.
People think today that I am trying to be mean to you.
I said this a few months ago.
Cheating on your wives, running around having sex.
But you know what's funny?
I want to finish this.
Right.
Cheating on your wives, running around having sex, doing the swapping, doing drugs. That, I understand that was a 60s and 70s thing. And it was when you're young and single, you can do that. But by the time you get married, grow up. Life is serious. That's what I was telling my son. I got you. You played around. Now you're a father. You're going to start life. 50 years flies by quickly. Yeah. I was also just married to Linda. Okay? 50 years, it's 36 years, flew by quickly. I played with the kids. I wish I would have spent more time with my babies. I wish I would have had more time to sit there, you know? I remember in 98 when the Yankees won the World Series.
Yes.
I made it my business to sit with my kid. That's why they're big Yankee fans. There were two little babies.
Oh, okay.
And we watched the Yankees on my laps. Now they're big time Yankee fans because one was 7 years old, the other one was 6 years old, and it blew it into their head. Yankee. They didn't know what they were watching. But when you teach them over and over and over again, they're big time Yankee fans since they're little. But that's my point. I love that few hours.
I'm a Mets fan. I just want to let you know I'm a Mets fan.
I don't hate the Mets. The truth of the matter is I don't like them. But I
like the Mets because the Mets to me were always the underdog. In a geographic standpoint, it was always Brooklyn. And you were from Brooklyn or Queens, you were a Mets fan.
Right. But I only like the Mets because of Tom Seaver.
Tom, terrific. But I will say, though...
Didn't he become a Yankee once?
No, he was a Yankee broadcaster. Broadcaster.
Right.
But I do want to point out, going back to what you just said...
By the way, I'm not a big time... I'm a sports fan, but not a big time one.
Right.
I just want to tell you one thing.
Tell me.
How corrupt your sports system is as well. Okay.
We talk about the wrestling world or the sports world?
Not the wrestling, sports world.
Okay.
You know, there's something called the Hall of Fame.
Yes.
That means if you're the best
I want to hear this.
You get into the Hall of Fame.
Yes, okay.
You understand that Bill Belichick...
I'm very aware of what you're going to say.
He was a player as well as...
Well, he was a Giant assistant coach.
Right.
And then he
became the coach.
The Patriots coach.
He won, not one, not two, not 3, not 4, not 5, 6 championships.
He actually won 8, 2 as an assistant and 6 as a head coach.
Right.
Won 8 Super
Now
Bowls.
this guy, usually when you win 1 World Series or 2, you get written in the history books.
Yep, an all-time great. Yep.
This guy won 6.
Yeah.
How do you deny him from the Hall of Fame? Because it's all politics.
That's you hit the nail on the head. It's politics.
It's wrong.
I agree with you. He won.
Man, there's no question this man deserves it.
And it's also because he's got like a 24-year-old girlfriend.
Yeah, right.
But you know what? But it's funny, before our listeners say goodbye on the Talkline Radio Network, 102.7 FM WNEW, our flagship 620 AM WSNR, and of course where the producer and Heshy will be tomorrow in Florida, WJPR 1640 AM. Thank you everybody for tuning in this week. But they go after you for your past, but you rattled off de Blasio, right? Who's got this young girlfriend, and they quote him sometimes in the media. They want to give Cuomo a chance.
I want you to have a good laugh.
All right.
When I went to the Republican committee to run for office,
Oh, I need a good laugh.
So they brought up my past of why I went to jail.
Okay.
And I explained to them that I went for not cooperating with the government to rat on other people.
Yes.
And they put me away for a few months. And I could have got out early. I could have cooperated, whatever.
Yeah.
They interviewed somebody, and I'm not laughing at it. He came on to the interview for the executive committee. He was arrested for DV. Nobody know what that meant. I had to explain it. It means domestic violence. He was arrested for robbery, shoplifting, and other bad things. Here's a guy they're interviewing to run for a position, and they gave it to him. And me, they gave a hard time because I help to defend the community every day. I fight the government for the people. Here's a guy who beat his wife, robbed the stores. I don't want to tell you what else he
Because
did.
I'll tell you why. Because you speak your mind. You are a guy that's not afraid to go against the grain. And this person who they backed is a dummy, is a dive candidate. And it's the same game because the Republican jokers are aligned with the conservative jokers, and the conservatives, for whatever reason, who back all Democrats practically, don't back you.
Right.
And I've been telling you that. The Republican guy was a conservative.
By the way, I want Carmen Yeager, who listens to this show. You know.
Oh,
that.
he better be
He
listening.
does. So
And Bob Chapman said goodnight, by the way.
Oh, hi. But I
Thank
want
you,
you to
Bob.
know, Carmen Yeager wants to get the Republican line. I'm on the executive.
I need a laugh.
Yeah, so I need the executive, and they're going to give it to him.
Of course they are.
So what I did was I figured out that the Republican committee has nowhere to meet next time. So I offered them my office.
No, what did they say?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Now I would like to see Carmen Yeager show up for that meeting.
I want to see Carmen Yeager there. I want to see Ina Vernikoff there.
No, Ina's not running for office anymore.
Well, she could show up.
Yeah, oh, she did come once, by the way.
See, there you go.
She spoke over there, and I was nice to her. I made a mistake.
Big mistake. Yeah, big mistake. Big mistake. But also, yes, your is Esther still in my mommy's bed?
So no, Esther left my Maimonides. I put her into the Borough Park Center. She's
Good.
in room 214. Then anybody who wants to visit her or bring her a snack, boy, could that girl, she loves snacks. You're all welcome to visit her. Do a mitzvah or a good deed. Esther likes visitors. She talks a lot. So when you get there, be ready to sit down because she's going to talk to you.
This is the rehab center, correct?
The rehab center,
Okay.
room 214.
Okay.
Esther Tischler. I go every day. I try to go every evening. Yesterday, I wasn't feeling so good.
I'll tell you what, when the weather warms up one afternoon, I'll show up with you.
Good.
Tell you what.
I brought her clothing so she doesn't have to stay in bed. She can go to the recreational. She's doing something called therapy. Rehab therapy.
Absolutely.
So you're right. She's going to be off her feet for 2 to 3 months. I'm hoping she'll be better in time so I can.
She ain't missing much. Look at the weather outside.
I know,
But by the time she gets better, it'll finally warm up.
I hope so, man. I hate this cold.
Listen, I don't want to hear anybody talk about global warming anymore. I can't wait for global
nobody
warming.
tell me. I mean, everybody said this is going to be a massive snowstorm, blizzard. We're all dead,
Well, they're
right?
saying now this weekend we're supposed to get 30 to 50 mile an hour winds and more snow. And,
I don't know. The last
Mamdani's telling
snowstorm-
everybody maybe we'll be off again. But it's funny, though, that, and you and I had said this earlier in the show, I remember the blizzard of 96. I remember the blizzard in 2010 where I felt like people went out and did their business or attended to. Whereas in this one, which was, like you said, about half or even a third of what we got in those snowstorms, people acted like They've never been through anything. Everybody ran out and got bread and milk and water as if like they've never been through something before.
Well, anyways, I want to thank everybody for coming to the show, to listening to the show. Now, a lot of people have asked me personally.
And Benny also wants to say Borough Park Rehab Center is also a part of Mamdani's.
I know.
I did want to point that out, but go ahead, finish your point.
I have no choice.
Well, okay, what would you like to say?
I want to tell you that.
And what are you doing for your birthday also tomorrow, brother? What are you doing for your birthday?
Nothing. My kids don't care about me. I'm going to probably go to Substational, buy four $4.50 hamburgers.
Okay.
And a French fries, and go home and take it to Linda. Me and Linda will have a good laugh. And have hamburgers.
You don't want to go to Almonds for a slice?
I want to treat myself to a hamburger.
Okay.
You know, that hamburger is the same price as Almond slice.
Well, maybe you should want the hamburger.
I like the hamburger, but the bread is no good for me.
But you were saying, go ahead.
I want you to know, people have asked me, are you running? Are you running? Are you running?
Yeah.
We are in consideration.
Okay.
We are thinking. We have a plan.
Yeah.
There are positions that they want me to run, not want me to. My family makes fun of me. They tell me not to run.
In Florida, they're running in Florida?
My people called me from Florida to
Oh,
ask
okay.
me if I'm running. So I've decided that I do want to run.
And this position would be not in Florida, but in Brooklyn, right?
Would be in Brooklyn.
Okay.
And I don't know what this Florida joke of yours is.
I was told.
I know you're trying to kiss the producers behind.
No, I'm not.
Because he lets your microphone work and my microphone not.
No, it was in my ear.
I don't know why you're scared of him.
And he gave me a message specifically to ask what, and I can show it here, was the run that you may be considered for in Florida. That's what he had brought up. But obviously you are looking to run.
Thank you for watching our show.
And also Joseph's Burger, Joseph's Dream Burger.
No, man. I want some. If Joseph Burger is $19 for a hamburger.
Well, you want to go there. He's making a good point. Maybe Daniel Sweet wants to take you out for your birthday tomorrow. He could. Why not?
Okay.
Benny Klein. Listen, Avi just gave you $50 in super chat. That's going to pay for your birthday tomorrow.
That's
to be fair.
Avi, thank you.
And I want everybody in the chat to wish you a happy birthday.
That $50 that Avi gave, I'm giving it to the Sheva Sachem program.
Good, and I know Bob Trackman wants to get information for that, and I know in the chat here, everybody please join me in wishing a very happy birthday to Heshy. Thank you, Heshy, for all that you do. We hope that this is the best birthday yet. Hashem to you, and Hashem to your family, and Esther.
And I'm going to have another grandbaby in the next
and maybe
few
a
months.
potential run in 2026, maybe in a different area with more friendly